Hello everyone. So today I want to put my rack and fenders on my bike. I've kind of opened the box already. I'm just going to get everything unpacked and spread out and separated, and then we'll go through this step by step and see how we get this thing on. I wanted to go over the parts list and maybe the tools you're going to need to do this job. So if we start with the fenders, you're going to have a rear, this is a rear fender I believe, and this is the front fender that's smaller. Then you're going to have these two guides for the fenders, and they're labeled, so I'm not going to take those off until I'm ready to install them. Then inside the bag there was a bag of screws and stuff. That's where you'll get the reflector, and these screws are in the bag with the reflector. And then all of this was in one bag, and this was inside that one bag. So you have a bunch of these are 4mm hex. These are 5. I didn't quite measure this one yet. It's probably a 5 also. Let's see here. Yep, that's a 5. And I don't know if this is extra parts or for something else. So I'm kind of just going to put them together and see what happens. But all these look like replacements of one of these or something, and a few extra washers. So we may not need those. You're going to need a 5mm hex wrench, a 4mm hex wrench, and you're probably going to need just a standard Phillips head screwdriver. I believe that's everything, so we'll get started on this. I think I'm going to start with the front fender first. There's no instructions online, so I'm just going to kind of do my best and we'll figure it out. And I figured if we can get the front fender done first, that will be a few less screws and parts to add to the equation of getting the rear fender back on. But it looks like this probably just goes on back here with those screws, and this lines up with the back of the Cruiser, and these line up with the back of the Cruiser. We just got to get the right screws. I'll kind of show you here. I'll take this with me. Go through my garage here. So if we kind of just put this on right there, see how it lines up with that, and then it's going to go, it's like perfectly slotted for that hole closest to the seat post. So right here, there's 2 here, but this is the one. So that seems like where that's going to attach. We just got to get the right screws in there. Might have to clean that out a little bit. There might be some dirt in there since I've had the bike for about 6 months, and just make sure it screws in okay. And then the front fender right now looks like you're going to slide the front fender through and attach it to the back right here, probably with this existing screw, maybe not. And then you're going to screw it on, you're going to secure it on this way right here on each side. So we will get some things started and we'll get back to it. I'm going to get a Phillips head screwdriver that fits these okay. Very good. We're going to use one of these. The other one is going to be used for the back fender. And we're just going to separate this real quick. Okay, so we have this section and this section. I believe this section is going to go on the top. So what we're going to do is we have to play a balancing game here. So I'm going to bring this up to where it's in between those 2 holes, and that's what's going to lock that into place right there. And then we're going to take this and put it underneath, and actually let's try it a different way here. So this has like a lip, and I think that we can probably just start with that and get it close to in the holes and kind of just hold it there. And then we can take this part. Now that we got a thumb underneath there, we can take one of these screws, hand thread it a little bit. Okay, and then we'll take the other one and just keep it kind of loose, I think. So just straighten that out a little bit. And so what I'm trying to do is hand thread this through here. And then we'll tighten it up a little bit, just a little bit. And now we have this pretty much ready to go. And we're going to take the cap off right here, and we're going to go put it on the front fender. We might have to take a piece off the front area where the fender is, the light, but we'll do that next. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we have the 4mm nut, and we have one of these washers. We have one of these smaller, I think these are called locking washers. Look at that groove there. We're going to feed this through here, and then we're going to put the fender in. We're not going to put this in yet. So this is going to be right here. So we're going to have to feed this through a little bit. Kind of let it rest on there. I just dropped that other washer, but I'm going to use my knee to hold this. And I'm just going to feed this through right here. Oh, see, that's where we're wrong. We're going to flip them. We need the larger washer on the outside so that it'll stay on. Okay, so let's try that. That may even be wrong too, but let's give it a shot. Put that in. And just hand tighten that. So I'm gonna now hand tighten it in. I'm gonna do a little bit here. And let's try the other side. We're gonna use the larger washer. Will be on the outside. And the reason why we do that is because this has a space, and you need to make this a little bigger with the washer. So we're gonna swap these out real quick. The larger one in, feed it through here. Put the smaller locking washer in right there. And get that kind of close. And thread it. Then make sure that goes in nice and smooth. So now we have that in, but it's loose. So the next part is we are going to take the screw right here. We're just going to remove this and kind of put this in between it and then put the screw back on. So we'll do that next. Okay, so this is the same 4mm. So we're just going to take this off slowly and gently. Okay, and I'm going to try putting it where the fender is first. So fender attaches to the back, the light is back there, and don't really care the position of them yet. Just want to get that fed in, threaded, and now that it's threaded, tighten it a bit. And we can work on getting the light back to where we wanted it. That feels good. Okay, and that's pretty snug. So now what we have to do is just kind of arrange these. We want to tighten these to kind of get them into place, because we want to get this nice and snug. And then we got to get a regular screwdriver once we get those nice and snug here. And then we just want to make sure, so this part's still loose. So we're going to want to level this out and then screw it down. I'm going to go get a screwdriver and do that real quick. All right, so if I look at from the back, that should be about even for me. And we're just going to tighten this down. Okay, and then we just want to make sure that when the wheel is spinning, it's not rubbing. So you may want to take it for a test drive. You may want to lift the bike up and just kind of spin the wheel. I'm going to see if I can do that. And I don't hear anything at all. So I think that we are good. We may have to adjust this again once or twice after we go for a couple rides as it settles in, but for the most part, we are done with the fender, the front fender. This is what we have left. We have two of the smaller, the 4mm bolts that we used to put into this guy on the front. And then we also have this extra guide. And we have washers, same pair of washers for each one of them. So if I'm looking at the rack and the fender, there's a hole back here, right here, 2 holes. And that most certainly is what's going to attach this and this to the back here. And then we're going to use these to attach to the back of the frame. Remember, there's 2 sets of holes in the back of the frame. This will probably go onto the one furthest from your seat post. Then we have this, and we have this front. So if I kind of try to illustrate this here, we're going to lift when we put this on, we're going to put the fender underneath so that when we put this bolt through the frame, it's on the bottom. And then this is going to be lifted up here, and as you lift it and kind of makeshift, you'll see that aligns right there with this area and this hole right here. And I think we're going to use this to attach that, and that will actually be all the screws that are remaining in this kit. And then we just have the reflector. So a lot of this stuff we can actually put on here on the workbench and get it ready to go, and then just attach it all at once. So it doesn't seem like it's going to be too difficult. So we'll get working on it. So let's start with the attaching. I think if we attach this to the fender, that'll give us a good place to start. So we're going to keep the big washer here, and I'm going to use a small locking washer on that side. I'm going to feed that through. I'm going to put that through there, hold this in place, and then I'm going to try and put that one underneath and this one up in there too. I'm going to try and hand thread this. This is one of those things where if you had an extra hand, it would be great. So I just got it nice and loose. Cool. And we got this here. We're not going to do anything with this part yet, the front part of the fender. And then we can move the camera a little bit and move this a little bit. And we can now put this together with this. So we'll unscrew these. Feed these through here. So I'm trying to do that. Those don't quite line up that way. So I'm going to try and go flush. I might have to go back and fix my other one, my front fender. So at first I thought these would go through here. They don't seem to actually fit in there. So, and the way they came all screwed together, they were like this. So I figured this would cause, less rattling, but I think I'm going to have to do it this way, and we'll just kind of see. So let me put this on the bottom. And kind of just put that through here, like this. Put my thumb and my forefinger, and let's line these up. And let's try and get one threaded in here. Wow, first try. All right, so let's do the other one. It's nice and loose. Kind of feeling around for it here. Got it. All right, so nice and loose. We got it through there. I got a 10mm wrench for the bolt, for the nut. And what I'm going to do, stepping on all my stuff, is I'm going to try and feed this through the other way. Careful to get these. I want to get this all in one piece here, and what I'm going to do is just attach this here, since it's so limited in space back behind here. If I feed it through like that, this is the way I probably should have done it originally, then I could put the fender on, and then the rack through, kind of makeshift. And that's easier to protrude out now, so you can then put this washer on. The nut on, and I really just want to tighten this just a little bit. Hand tighten it. Okay, so it's hand tightened. So now we can work on getting the other one. After we get some support on these, it should be a lot easier to get the rest of the bike done. So we're gonna take the 5mm again, and this time we're gonna use this little setup here, the 5mm wrenches with this guy, and we're gonna feed that through, put this on the back end, and then this is gonna be probably harder than it was for the other one, because this is not going to move as much. It's not going to give us as much play. I want to get that in there, turning nicely, but again, not entirely tight. And then we're going to go over here, and we're going to do the same thing. Feed this through. Put this washer through the back side. I'm kind of just lifting this, and then we're just gonna gently kind of stretch that. Pops right into place there, and then just want to thread it. Want it to go in nice and easy. That seems like it's cross-threading a little bit. There we go. And if you had some kind of grease or something, it's gonna make it go in easier. Just don't want to cross-thread it. I think we got it. It's still gonna be, it still feels a little tight, but it doesn't feel like I'm cross-threading it. That's okay. Let's go back over here. They feel tight, but they go in okay. I might have misthread that other one, so you just want to be careful. But now, for the most part, this is pretty much done, except for attaching this here and then getting everything all tightened down correctly. So let's do the back part. And we're going to go back to the 4mm wrench. So put that through, put this through the back end. Hand tighten that. Okay, and we're gonna grab the other one, which is behind the camera here. Got it. There. We got one to the back. Right there. Oh, I lost one of the washers. Let's see here, where'd it go? Here it is. Again. Sorry guys. Seem to have lost it again. Here it is. I'm not having, this is the last one before everything gets tightened down, and I'm not having great luck with this one. This side, both of them, they don't seem to, I don't know, maybe it's a machining issue or a manufacturing issue. But, so now we're at the point where we're going to tighten this and this on both sides. We're going to tighten this, and we're going to tighten this. And I think the order we do it is probably get this tight, then these, and then finally the fenders. So I'm going to do that right now, kind of off camera, but you guys get the idea. You got it on mostly. So that's what it looks like. Seems real nice. There's the front fender again. And we'll just clean up those two yellow labels to identify the front and the back ones. And then we'll give it a test ride and see. Thanks for watching. Attaching the bag. So you have this little part right here, and you have this hook right here. So you're just going to wedge it underneath it, and then it's going to come down here, push this lever in, and that will just snap into place. You are good. One final look at the bike with the rack and fenders. Looks good. I'm going to do a quick test ride. I'm not going to bring the camera with me. I'm just going to kind of listen for noise and stuff and around the block real quick and see how it sounds. And if I don't hear any rubbing, I think we're good.